Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's VC Task Force Gary's Picks event for investors and startups. My name is Joel Rosenberg, Director of Business Development and Strategy for VC Task Force. VC Task Force is an organization where the venture community comes together to address critical issues, provides workshops and other events for the benefit of the venture and entrepreneurial communities. VC Task Force provides access to an extensive ecosystems of VCs, corporate VCs, and angel investors. You may ask questions anytime during the event, and time permitting, they will be answered live after today's interview. It is my pleasure to welcome Gary's Picks host, Gary Fowler. Gary is CEO and co-founder of GSD Venture Studios, an award-winning growth stage AI venture studio. Gary is also co-founder of the award-winning AI startup Eva.ai, as well as the investment firm DY Investments. Today, Gary will be interviewing special guest, Maxence de Damas, co-founder and CEO of Filtroo. Filtroo is an innovative fintech platform revolutionizing the way social media users earn money. By using and sharing AR effects on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, users accumulate points which are redeemable for rewards from 10,000 plus global brands in the form of gift cards, coupons, discounts, merchandise, and experiences. Maxence is a seasoned entrepreneur with a 10-year track record in the startup space. Prior to Filtroo, he co-founded Parkfleet, a P2P business marketplace for private parking spots, and Project H2O for India, a venture that installed water pumps in rural areas of India to provide safe drinking water to 1,000 families. Having worked across France, Argentina, and Spain, together with a heritage linked to a French noble family, he possesses a global business perspective and brings a unique blend of traditional values and modern vision. Take it away, Gary.
Yes, appreciate it, Joel. Thanks. And great to have you here, Max. It's great to have a unicorn master here. So, so how in the world, now tell me, how in the world did you get to India? Now tell me the story. Where did that come up? Did you just go decide, well, I'm going to go to India. I think that we can help them. How did it work? You did this Parkfly, your P2P marketplace. How did it come up? Did you just say, I'm going to do private parking spots and then I'm going to do H2O for India? Were you there? It's interesting.
So the project for India was my first official startup, because we could call it that way. It wasn't a for-profit business, but it was in 2013. I was still doing my engineering studies in Buenos Aires. And I had one of my very good friends who had traveled to India, to the region of Guntur in Andhra Pradesh. And he saw this town where they didn't have any safe drinking water. And the mothers had to walk every single day in the morning around 8 to 10 kilometers to get, safe drinking water for the town, for the kids. So when he came back to Buenos Aires, he showed me the pictures and he told me about the situation over there. And I've always wanted, to start businesses. I've been doing projects and kind of like small entrepreneurial projects since I'm a kid. So when he told me this idea, I said, okay, you know what? Let's find a way. Let's help. So we partnered with some friends from Stanford University. And basically, so the H2O for India consisted in creating a project where we raised funds. We partnered with engineering companies in India, and with the funds that we raised worldwide, we installed water pumps in those poor areas in order to provide safe drinking water to all these families. And it was a project that lasted 1 year. I'm happy to say that we successfully achieved our goals. We installed the water pumps that are still present to this day in that area. So it's a great satisfaction to know that more than 1,000 families have access to clean water thanks to us.
No, that's fantastic. And then, you've worked across France, Argentina, Spain. How was it? You were down in Argentina. What made you decide to go there?
Well, wine.
There you go.
Exactly. It's a good reason. My family is in the wine business, as always has been. And so we moved there in 98 because of my parents' work. And so I grew up in Mendoza, where we have the wineries. And so I've always been a little bit involved, in the family business, looking how they do stuff, learning, and trying to, to bring a little bit of help where I can. And then I moved to Buenos Aires for university, where I did my industrial engineering studies. And while I was there in 2015, that's when I co-founded ParkFi with some Spanish friends in Madrid. So I was finishing my engineering masters from 2015 to 2017. I was finishing my engineering masters, working on the startup. So as soon as I got it done, I moved to Madrid to work full time on the business.
That's great. And so how was it? So are you originally from France or are you originally from Spain?
I'm French.
So now what do you feel more comfortable? Where do you feel more comfortable, Spain or France?
I mean, I love Spain. I've been living there for the past 6 years, especially Madrid is an amazing city. People are really, really nice. The weather is great. We have like 340 days of sun per year. So, I mean, you can compare that to Paris. I mean, it's a very nice place to live, and there's a very good quality of life.
And then what about, so what's the difference between the cultures in Spain and France?
I mean, if you compare the people are much nicer in Spain. We can say,
Oh,
especially
really?
in Paris. Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. So they're nicer. How about the food? Where's it better?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, I'm a foodie, so you have very good food in both countries. In Spain, you have the jamón, which is the jamón de bellota. That's a must. I mean, if next time you come to Madrid, I'll take you to some good places to have it. You will see by
No,
yourself.
that sounds great. I look forward to it. So tell us a little bit about, so you've got Filtroo, which is an innovative fintech platform. Tell us a little bit about it. How did you come up with the idea?
I mean, so the idea came when I was working at Amazon Web Services. So after we sold in 2019, we sold ParkFi. I remember one of our biggest, problems we had back then was the server costs that we had, because we did everything in-house. So that's why I decided afterwards to go to work to Amazon Web Services to learn all about cloud technology, how everything was done in the cloud, because most startups nowadays are cloud native. So they're scalable. So that's why I went to Amazon Web Services. And while I was working there, I remember I'm a big user of social media, and I had all these friends, these influencer friends, and these models on Instagram. They kept posting pictures of themselves, going to a restaurant, tagging the restaurant, or tagging a certain type of brand. So, I just started asking everybody, I mean, are these brands paying you? Because, I mean, you're always promoting the place, you're tagging them, you're tagging this brand, these other brands, like, are they paying you? I said, no, they're not. And the reason why they were doing this is because they were trying to get noticed by these brands. They were trying to pretend they were influencers to gain more followers, because if they had more followers, these brands would try to contact them and pay them for paid promotions. And in nowadays world, which is a completely digital world, social media has clearly reshaped how we engage with people and with brands. But there is a big consistent problem, and it's that only the influencers with large followings are able to monetize that engagement and that content that they share on a daily basis. And we're talking about 4.6 billion social media users worldwide, and 99% of those users are not able to monetize their content because they're not influencers. They don't have large followings. So they don't get deals from brands, even though they're active on the social media every day. They tag brands, they engage with brands on a daily basis, but the thing is they don't have any tangible way to monetize that content. And especially look at the Generation Z. So these kids are from like 11 years old to 27 years old. They spend an average of 4 hours per day connected on social media, sharing content on a daily basis, but they're not rewarded. So that's a huge cost of opportunity we're talking there. I mean, how much would you value 1 hour of your time, Gary? I imagine a lot. So these kids
you're right. I mean, the thing is, we don't really do that across the board, right? There's in fact, your data is also worth a lot. Your data that you have is worth a lot, and we don't monetize that. The companies do,
Exactly.
and we need to own our own data, and we ought to get paid for it, but we don't do
Exactly.
that. So I love what you're doing. How's business?
Sorry?
How's business?
It's very good. It's very good. So we're launching officially the platform now in September. But with the MVP that we did so far in the past year, we've had more than 4 million people use our technology so far. We've generated more than 11 million organic impressions on TikTok, thanks to those people, sharing our AR filters. And we're already positioned in the top 1% of content creators on TikTok. So it's
Oh my
going.
God, that's great. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's doing very well. I mean, and that completely organic without absolute any paid partnership at all.
And then you say you can get up to 15 times higher conversion rates than traditional ads.
Exactly, yes. Because I mean, the interesting. So I'll explain a little bit how how Filtroo the app works. Because I mean, it's basically a revolution for every social media user out there. It's a very simple app where we allow users to effortlessly, earn points every time they share content on TikTok, Instagram, or Snapchat using augmented reality filters. Every time they share a video using a filter, they earn points. Every time they tag brands or they tag their friends, they earn more points. And then with those points, they can redeem them for rewards from more than 10,000 global brands that we already work with. So coupons, discounts, and stuff like that. All right. And I mean, and it's just a very simple process. They download the app, they connect their social media account, and they can instantly monetize it. It's basically like a loyalty platform for social media.
And how does it work? So what do they get? So let's just say they get what are the prizes that they get? How do they monetize it?
You can go from discounts, coupons that we offer nowadays. We're going to implement merchandising experiences as well. But let's say you earn 100 points for sharing a video on TikTok, and then with those 100 points, you can get a 20% discount on Amazon, or a 30% discount, or even, I don't know, we've offered as much as 60% discount on Shine, for example, the clothing brand. So I mean, we go from fashion to technology to food. We have a lot of categories that users can redeem their rewards from. And to answer your question about the conversion rate for the ads, the good thing about filters, the filters that people use in their videos, they're very interactive, they're very engaging. So this is a new format of advert that brands can take advantage to promote, to the brand awareness campaigns or brand engagement campaigns. So instead of just launching, a traditional advertising campaign with an image or a video, by using an augmented reality filter with the branding from the company that users will use in their videos and will share to their own followers, it's kind of like a snowball effect. So I use a filter, I share it to my all followers, they can see it, they can use the filter as well, because everybody will be earning points in that process. And then the brand gets a lot of exposure through that same process.
Got it. That's great. And what's the future hold? How does it look? So you're going to launch. What countries are you launching in?
So the first country we're launching in is in Indonesia, because from the 4 million people we had using our technology so far, 40% of that traffic came from Indonesia. And it's a huge market out there for augmented reality filters. They have a 40 billion per year industry of doing live streams to sell products. So imagine if you adapt the filters to the live streams for brands to sell their products, which we increase the conversions, we're talking about a 40 billion per year industry. It's quite big. So that's our first market.
And where do you go next?
Next, we're going to do Malaysia, since it's our second market. And then we're doing the US and Mexico.
And why do you go to Malaysia? What's the reason for that?
15% of our traffic is coming from Malaysia. I
Wow,
mean,
that's amazing.
We validated those markets through the MVP only. So we saw that Indonesia was 40% of our traffic and Malaysia 15%, and then was USA and Mexico.
Why the USA?
Why the USA? Because you're there,
Why
Gary.
is the USA? Yeah, it's interesting. I'm trying to figure out. I know it's but why? Where does the number of users from the USA. So you got 15% of Malaysia. How many from the US?
From the US, we're at 14%. And the US is a huge market for Snapchat. So right now we're working on TikTok, we're implementing Snapchat next for the US. And I mean, according to statistics, more than 55% of social media users in the US, they want to monetize and earn something from their content. So it's a huge market for us as well.
So what are you doing now? Have you raised money?
Yes, so we did a pre-seed round in 2021 of 300,000 euros. And now we're doing an early seed round of 1 million euros where we have already closed 60% of the round. So
wow, congratulations.
Thank you. We're confident that we'll be able to close the entire round by the end of the year.
Well, it sounds like you're moving in the right direction, Mag. So for those entrepreneurs that are out there, if you were speaking to a French entrepreneur right now, what would you say to him or her about how to build a startup in France?
Well, I mean, in France, I wouldn't know because, I mean, my company is based in Estonia, which is kind of the Silicon Valley for Europe. I'm based in Madrid. We already have an entity in Delaware, but if they were to start a startup, I would
Where should they start, Max? If they're in France right now and they want to do a startup, would it make sense for them to go to Estonia? Is that the place to go?
Completely. Estonia is super startup friendly. You can get a digital residency in less than 1 month, open a bank account and the company there in like just a few days.
A digital residency, what does that mean?
So basically, I'm an e-resident from Estonia. I've never been to Estonia, but I'm an e-resident because they have this program that allows you to become a resident in order to open a company there and open a bank account over there. And it's very startup friendly. When compared to Spain, I'm living in Madrid myself. But then when we opened the company in Spain, it took us 3 months to open the bank account. It was another month. I mean, it was hell. With Estonia, just in a few clicks, it's done. So it's super easy.
And then what about the resident? What does that mean? Can you go there without visas or how does it work?
I mean, since I'm French, I can go there without visas. But I mean, the e-residency is basically to open a business. It's for, it's for digital nomads. If you have an e-commerce company or, just want to manage your business at a distance and you don't have to be physically there. I mean, Estonia, honestly, for me is the way to go. It's super easy.
Super. That's great. Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks for taking time. What are your closing thoughts? Closing thoughts and how do people get a hold of you?
So closing thoughts, and to go back on the question you asked for anybody who wants to get into entrepreneurship, three key aspects of it that you need to have to be successful, I think. First of all, persistence or resilience. Right. So basically being able to accept and manage a rejection. It's a very big aspect of it. I mean, as long as you're going to move with the business, you're going to be raising money, contacting VCs, you will get a lot of rejection. So how you accept that and you manage, it's a very big thing. Second of all, I would say discipline, because you have to put in the work every single day, whether you feel it or like it or not. And the third one would be consistency. Because if you're just disciplined on one day and then you're lazy for another week, it doesn't work. You have to be consistent with the discipline that you put in every day. That would be.
You're right. Consistency matters, right?
A lot.
Consistency and traction definitely matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. And how do people get a hold of you?
I mean, you can contact me on LinkedIn, so Maxence de Damas, or through our Filtroo website. So it's filtroo.co.
That's great. Well, thanks for taking time out of your daily schedule to get together with us. I know it's probably close to nighttime there. What is it? 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? Closing
yeah,
in,
it's
right?
almost 9 o'clock over here. Yeah. But
yeah.
I mean,
so no, thanks for taking time. And Joel,
you're having me.
Yeah. Hey, thanks to both you guys. Gary, great interview, and Maxence, really what you're doing is great and it's highly relevant to our audience. Really appreciate your sharing your experience with us. It's really good. Everybody out there, we look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks for the next episode of Gary's Picks. Until then, stay well. Bye-bye.
take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.